Hi, my name is Hunter Gregg, and my project is on the influenza outbreak of 1918 in the United States. The year 1918 was an interesting time for the United States. The U.S. was recovering from their role in World War I. Soldiers had lived in close quarters during the war, making them prime targets for the spread of disease. This may have been a factor leading to the pandemic upon their return. Concerning pandemics throughout history, the U.S. influenza outbreak of 1918 was unique. Before and after 1918, most influenza pandemics developed in Asia and spread from there to the rest of the world. The influenza pandemic of 1918, however, had roots in the United States and spread independently. The culprit of the 1918 pandemic was the infamous H1N1 virus, a type of influenza which has reappeared throughout history. The 1918 strain, however, was different in that there were genome changes in a total of 10 amino acids, perhaps contributing to the aggression of the virus. Despite having the characteristics of an avian flu, H1N1 had adapted to humans. Symptoms include difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, pain or pressure in the chest or abdomen, sudden dizziness, confusion, severe or persistent vomiting, flu-like symptoms that improve but then return with fever and worse cough. The main carriers of H1N1 are birds. From there, the disease is transmitted to humans and swine, who can intertransmit to each other. Humans and swine were actually infected at the same rate in 1918. The transmission cycle is pictured below. Although influenza was not considered a reportable disease at the time, officials in Haskell County, Kansas, reported 18 cases of what they called influenza of a severe type in early March of 1918. As the year progressed, the disease spread across the entire country, as well as many other parts of the world. The pandemic killed around 675,000 people in the U.S. alone. Especially alarming considering the population at the time was only about 105 million. At the time of the pandemic, influenza was mostly combated with blood transfusions or folk healing, such as wearing amulets or bags of camphor. Doctors at the time had to rely heavily on prevention, which consisted of quarantines and education campaigns on how to prevent the disease. Luckily today, there are many more and far better options. Today, the main guard against influenza is the flu vaccine. The vaccine changes every year with the flu viruses, so it is important to receive one annually. The main protein component of the flu vaccine is ovalbumin, a protein synthesized from chicken eggs. Here we see ovalbumin in complex with influenza A. One type of antiviral used to treat influenza is an M2 protein inhibitor. Here we see an adamantane derivative known as adamantine, which is an M2 protein inhibitor. This class of drugs was discontinued in 2009. Now, another class of antivirals is much more common. Here, we see oseltamivir, also known as Tamiflu. Tamiflu is a neuraminidase inhibitor and is the most commonly used antiviral for the flu. Although it would likely not be as extreme thanks to modern treatment and prevention methods, a pandemic similar to this could happen again. Take the 2009 swine flu outbreak, for example. This strain of H1N1 infected between 43 million and 89 million people and killed between 8,870 and 18,300. Prevention is still key, so be sure to get your flu shot this year.